使わせてもらうぜ。
Anime fights are legendary for their high stakes, emotional tension, and drawn out battles that push characters to their limits. But then there are those moments, the ones that skip the build up, forget the struggle, and go straight to absolute obliteration. So today we're talking about the most legendary one-shots in anime.
打ちどころが悪けりゃ死んじまうって分かってるよな。分かっててやったってことは殺す気だったってことだよな。じゃあ何をされても文句はねえよな。
Starting off the list is Durarara, the anime where Shizuo literally punches a guy until he's left in his underwear. Chaos rules the streets of Ikebukuro, and one man stands as the ultimate embodiment of don't mess with me energy, Shizuo. The guy is a walking temper tantrum with superhuman strength, and he's got one of the most unbelievably absurd one-shot moments in anime history. The time he punched a dude so hard that he knocked his clothes clean off. Yeah, you heard that right. Clothes off. How does physics even allow this? Was Shizuo channeling the laws of anime to make a statement? Probably.
Kenshin, 喧嘩はもう終わりだ。
なめてんのかマイキー。そんなのてめえの決めることじゃねえだろうが。
ほら、終わった。
When it comes to Tokyo Revengers, there's one name that strikes fear into friend and foe alike. Manjiro Sano, aka Mikey. One of his most legendary flexes, the time he one-shotted Shuji Hanma, aka the Reaper. Now, Hanma isn't some scrub, you know. He's got the aura of someone who thrives on chaos and loves to push his opponents to their limits. But when Mikey steps up, oh boy, that grin doesn't last long. The way Mikey one-shotted Hanma is the kind of moment that would echo through generations, something Hanma's grandkids would probably hear about in hushed tones at family gatherings. Seriously though, when Mikey steps in, you don't just lose, you get humbled.
我々には一生理解できない類の話さ。おめえも悪魔大元帥なら潔く覚悟を決めろ。悪意しわれ。
Moving on, in The Devil is a Part-Timer, the battles may be rare, but when they happen, they go hard. And one of the most memorable moments, the time Satan one-shotted Lucifer so hard the impact was literally visible from space. When the two finally clash, Lucifer is all smug confidence, firing flashy attacks and taunting Satan. But Satan, he's done playing games. With a single earth-shattering attack, Satan taps into his demonic powers and obliterates Lucifer. We're talking about a beam so massive, so devastating, that it literally lights up the atmosphere. If you were chilling on a satellite or even just casually stargazing, you'd see a giant burst of energy from the planet below and think, yeah, someone just got wrecked down there.
どうしてくれようか。くそ。
あれ？
至らないなら振り絞れ。1分もいらない。1秒あれば十分だ。 魂を研ぎ澄ませ駆け抜けろ極限の一瞬を
Moving forward, if you've watched Chivalry of a Failed Knight, then you know it's full of insane fights and jaw-dropping moments. But there's one that stands out, and it's all about Ikki Kurogane showing everyone why he's not just another failed knight. Enter Todo, one of the strongest and most skilled knights out there. This girl's got confidence and power for days, and most people would have been sweating bullets just stepping into the ring with her, but Ikki's all chill, ready to take on the challenge. It was a showdown between the one who'd always reigned at the top and the one who fought tooth and nail to reach it. And believe me, this fight was pure adrenaline taken to the absolute limit. Ikki delivers one clean, devastating strike and Todo's on the ground, wondering what just happened. It definitely made Todo rethink everything she thought she knew about Ikki's failure status. And to top it off, the animation was just pure perfection.
黒金の名を背負え。
You may already know that Seamus isn't just a normal old butler. He's a behemoth in terms of strength and skill, and he's got some of the most polished combat abilities in the series. But when he decides to take care of business, it's done in the most savage way possible. Zero's been causing some trouble with his friends, thinking he's got what it takes to take down Sebas, but this is where the big mistake happens. Sebas, ever so calm and collected, isn't even breaking a sweat. With zero hesitation, Sebas launches forward and delivers a single brutal kick right to Zero's head. We're not talking about any regular kick here. This is a head kick so powerful, it literally one-shots Zero, sending him straight to the ground with no chance of recovery. Zero, for all his power and arrogance, is utterly destroyed in a moment, and he doesn't even get the chance to fight back. This moment was all about effortless dominance, and we absolutely love it.
核で蒸発しないためには自分が核になればいい。この強靭がこれぞ我が最強 I am Atomic。
Let's talk about the moment from The Eminence in Shadow that makes fans sit up and say, wait, what did I just watch? You know the one when Shadow himself drops his infamous I am atomic line and goes absolutely nuclear, both literally and figuratively. Zenon, your typical arrogant villain, thought he had everything under control. As a high-ranking member of the cult of Diablos, he believed his strength was untouchable. Unfortunately for Zenon, he was about to face Shadow, a man who doesn't play by the usual rules of anime power scaling. Zenon pulls out all the stops, transforming into a monstrous powerhouse and laughing like a man who thinks he's invincible. But Shadow, he's calm, composed, and very uninterested in Zenon's theatrics. With a single I am atomic and a flourish that screams effortless, Shadow obliterates Zenon and his entire surroundings. Shadow just never wastes time or words, he just gets the job done in the most efficient and stylish way possible. Next up, we're going to talk about the time Captain of the Black Bulls proved why you never mess with a man who's constantly on the edge of both a nap and a cigarette break. When it came to the battle against Veto, the beastly, despair-loving lunatic from the Eye of the Midnight Sun, Yami didn't just bring his A-game, he brought a one-shot lesson in humility. And he makes the most absurd move as he busts out of his Dimension Slash, a move so absurdly overpowered, it feels like he's breaking the anime itself. He channels his mana into his katana, slices through space, and cuts Veto down in one clean, effortless strike. Let me repeat that, okay? This dude slices through the actual fabric of reality to take Veto out. He's not flashy or overdramatic, he's just ridiculously powered in the most casual way possible. Watching him slice through Veto like it's nothing is the kind of overpowered nonsense that makes you want to cheer and laugh at the same time.
伝道者だか白装束だか知らねえが浅草は俺の街だコンロの技使わせてもらうぜ
just like Yami, there's this guy from Fire Force. Benimaru Shinmon always delivers flaming one-shot spectacles. One of his most iconic moments, the time he took down a Demon Inferno in a move so over the top, it felt like a fireworks show got weaponized. And Benimaru doesn't waste time with a warm-up. Instead, he unleashes his signature move, Twin Sun. It's basically a giant flaming meteor that he summons by launching 2 flaming spears into the sky and letting gravity plus some pure destruction do the rest. And the result is just as devastating as the Demon Inferno gets obliterated in an explosion so massive it lights up the entire city. That's hands down the most base-boosted finishing move you'll ever witness in the anime fights. Also, the animation for that moment was absolutely top tier, a visual feast that left jaws on the floor. It was one of those moments when the animation team said, let's flex on those weebs, and boy did they deliver. You all know how much anime is a part of my life, right? And let's be real, nothing beats showing that love by collecting some awesome merch. I was just scrolling, thinking about which figurine to add to my collection next, and boom, today's sponsor came through like fate. Let me tell you about the anime merch. These guys are a treasure trove for anime fans. They've got everything from detailed figurines to gorgeous LED lamps and light boxes that'll make your setup shine. I couldn't resist grabbing a Luffy figurine for myself. He looks so good with the rest of my collection. They have it all if you're into Naruto, Bleach, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, or Chainsaw Man. And guess what? Even the latest anime like Dan 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 and Solo Leveling. And here's the best part, they've hooked us up with a special deal. Use my code VINI at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first order. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? Go check out theanimemerch.com right now. If you've been following Kafka Hibino's journey, you know he's been grinding his way to becoming a true kaiju fighting powerhouse. But this moment, it was a total game changer. You see, Kafka's not your typical hero. He's not some overpowered guy right from the start. In fact, he's been facing some serious struggles trying to balance his human side with his kaiju powers. But when does the time come for him to step up and protect his team? That's when he really shows what he's capable of. He comes face to face with an actual kaiju that's terrorizing the city, and it's not just another fight. It's Kafka's moment to prove he's no slouch, and he does it in one of the most badass ways possible, by one-shotting the kaiju. Yep, you read that right. One hit and the monster's down for the count. Now, Kafka's not exactly the chosen one, but he showed everyone that he could be the MC. It just feels so satisfying because you've watched Kafka grow and struggle, and now he's finally come into his own.
妖獣？
その様子ならなんとか大丈夫そうだな。
Of course, how can it be a legendary list without Dragon Ball? Vegeta isn't the type to play around, especially when he's up against someone as shady as Frost, Universe 6's discount Frieza. So when Frost thought he could pull a fast one in the Tournament of Power, Vegeta decided it was time to shut him down the most Vegeta way possible. A brutal, no-nonsense one-shot. Frost, always scheming, had already ruffled some feathers with his underhanded tactics. This guy was the ultimate snake in the grass, pulling cheap tricks and acting like he could outsmart everyone. But then he made the mistake of underestimating Vegeta, the Saiyan prince who doesn't give second chances. When it was Vegeta's turn to face Frost, you could feel the tension. Frost might have thought he had some clever tricks up his sleeve, but Vegeta, he wasn't having any of it. As soon as Frost steps up, Vegeta skips the warm-up entirely. No speeches, no drawn-out fight, just one perfectly timed punch that sends Frost flying out of bounds like yesterday's garbage. Vegeta's disdain for Frost was on full display, and he let his fist do the talking.
心配するな。手加減はしてやった。そいつと同じレベルに落ちるつもりは鼻っからないからな。
Continuing our list, we have Zenitsu versus the Tongue Demon in Demon Slayer. Zenitsu might seem like the ultimate scaredy cat, but the moment he's unconscious, that's when the real magic happens. And his fight with the Tongue Demon was the perfect showcase of his one-shot prowess and why you should never sleep on this guy. Literally. The Tongue Demon was every bit as gross as he sounds. This slimy, nasty villain had a freaky tongue attack that made everyone cringe just watching it. Poor Zenitsu was stuck protecting a box holding Nezuko while shaking in his boots, as per usual. It looked like he was about to get wrecked until he passed out. And here's the thing about Zenitsu. When he's out cold, that's when the thunder-breathing beast inside him comes alive. In a split second, Zenitsu transitioned from a terrified mess to an absolute lightning god. His thunder-breathing, first form, thunderclap, and flash sliced through the air faster than the tongue demon could blink. Nobody expected this scaredy cat to suddenly turn into a one-shot king, which made the moment even more epic. The animation of the strike was also clean, powerful, and over in an instant. It was just pure art. Sneaking its way into our list, we have Killua versus Jonas in Hunter x Hunter. Killua Zoldyck is the definition of a prodigy. His speed, agility, and sheer power make him a force to be reckoned with. So, when he faced off against Jonas the Dissector, a creepy dude who likes to dissect things, including people, it was clear who was going to come out on top. Jonas was all about dissecting and experimenting, thinking he was some kind of mad scientist. He had this creepy vibe and a knack for making people uncomfortable. When he crossed paths with Killua, he probably thought he had an easy target, but that was a big mistake. Killua, being the absolute beast he is, didn't waste any time. With a quick move, he delivered a devastating blow to Jonas, ending the fight before it even started. Jonas didn't even know what hit him. Killua's lightning-fast reflexes and pinpoint accuracy made this one-shot feel like a well-executed punchline.
俺と一緒に遊ばない？
やめておく。
あっそ。
あ、やっと見つけた。探したぜ。
おってか、こいつもヒーロー。知らねえ顔だな。無名の下っ端が。
返り討ちだ。
何すんだ。誰だてめえ。買い物の邪魔すんな。
And like Dragon Ball, how can we have a one-shot list without the anime literally called One Punch Man? If there's one thing One Punch Man has taught us, it's that Saitama doesn't mess around. He's the hero who ends fights before they even begin. So when Garo, the hero hunter, thought he was going to be the guy to finally take Saitama down, it was pretty clear he was in for a rude awakening. Garo had been on a roll, taking down heroes left and right, building up his reputation as an unstoppable force. He was ready to challenge Saitama, thinking the caped Baldy would just be another hero to add to his list of victims. But the moment Garo and Saitama started facing off, it was clear this was going to be more of a joke than a battle. Saitama just gave him a single, effortless punch and boom! Garo was down. Game over. It was one of the few moments where Garo, the so-called hero hunter, realized he was just out of his depth.
お主の怒り、わしにはようわかる。その程度では断じてない。長次郎よ。さらば。
As we move closer to the end of the video, we have Yamamoto versus Driscoll in Bleach. Now, if you've ever doubted the sheer power of Yamamoto, the oldest and arguably most badass captain in Bleach, then you've clearly never seen him put someone in their place with his bunk guy. Enter Driscoll, a former Sternritter from the Quincy army who made the mistake of challenging Yamamoto and, well, let's just say he got barbecued. Driscoll, like many of the other Quincy warriors, was feeling pretty confident about his abilities. He thought he could handle this old man and his flaming sword. But Yamamoto wasn't just any captain, he was the captain, the one who'd burned down entire armies in the blink of an eye. Still, Driscoll didn't know that yet, and that was where his fatal mistake came. Driscoll didn't even get a chance to blink before he was reduced to ashes in a single swipe.
わしがこの手で叩き切る。俺のショーはこれからが見せ場なんだからよ。スプリングホッパー。夢見る時代は終わったんだ。海賊の恥さらしども。あばよ麦わら。
Last but not least, we have One Piece. Luffy has a lot of moments that can be added to this list, but that time he one-shotted Bellamy is definitely his most iconic one. Bellamy was a self-proclaimed pirate with a big mouth and an even bigger ego. He'd been mocking Luffy and his crew, calling them amateurs. He thought fighting dirty and cheating was the cool way to climb to the top, but when he crossed paths with Luffy, he was about to learn a harsh lesson. Bellamy, thinking he could scare Luffy, goes all out with his spring-loaded punches and some wild trash talk. But Luffy's got no time for small fry. With zero hesitation, Luffy just grabs Bellamy by the face and delivers a single devastating punch. It was so clean and so fast that Bellamy didn't get a chance to react. The sheer satisfaction of watching Luffy shut Bellamy up in a single blow is priceless, and it's one of those few moments where he becomes so badass that the other pirates start getting scared of him.
お前は5500万の大型ルーキーなんだぜ。あんたより懸賞金が上なんだよ、ベラミー。見ろ、今こっちゃね。
おっさんの金塊返せよ。
With that, we're wrapping up this list of the most legendary one-shot moments in anime. There are a lot of moments like this, so I'm sure we've missed some of your favourites. Don't keep us hanging though, be sure to comment down below any fights you think should have made this list. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of this juicy content.